Welcome back to another installment of Replay or Reject, PlayStation Classic Edition. Just a quick recap, I'm giving each game on the PlayStation Classic 1 hour to win me over. After that hour, I'll make my determination on whether the game would be worth replaying in the future, or if it will get added to my ever-growing list of reject games that I never want to play again. There's only one game on this list that I've actually beaten before. The rest of them either I have barely played, never played, or never even heard of. Well, that's enough preamble, so let's get to it. Next in line we have Revelations Persona. I didn't know anything about it ahead of time, but had at least heard of the Persona franchise. After playing, I looked up the Wikipedia entry, and I guess this is a spin-off of Shin Megami Tensei. That's another series that I have heard of but never played. I'm pretty sure it's popular though. Anyway, even though I'd heard of it, I was still kind of going into this one blind. I had guessed that it was going to be an RPG, but that's about all I was expecting. This game comes hot out of the gate with someone pondering their dream and having an existential crisis. As soon as I saw it, I instantly thought of the old school hits blunt meme.
Bruh.
And then we get an artsy intro of a butterfly making its way around. It's really well done, but I have absolutely no idea what that was setting up. Not even to the main menu, and I was already pretty sure that a lot of this game was going to be going over my head. Into the game, we start off in a classroom with a bunch of kids that are getting ready to play Persona.
He said it! He said it!
Everyone starts betting, and then when it's our turn, since everyone else was betting on Brad, I took pity on Mark and bet on him. They start playing, and I have no idea what's going on, but they said Mark wins, so I guess I made the right choice. After Brad whines about a rematch, all of a sudden this little ghost girl appears, and then lightning starts striking. In the classroom. Inside. Afterwards, we get a scene of us falling through space-time or something, and some weird dude in a purge mask asks who we are. Seeing that this was probably going to be a somewhat serious game, I decided to name my character Astic.
Yes, that's very funny.
Purgy here then goes on to further explain that we have multiple selves inside of ourself, and he gives us the power of persona to call on those others within ourself. I thought that was called multiple personality disorder and was a debilitating mental health condition, but apparently it's actually a superpower. When we wake up, we're in the infirmary, and our classmates all had the same dream we had. Neat. And totally not weird at all. Taking control of our character, we walk around the isometric room, but something's just off about the controls. I'm not sure how to explain it, but it just feels like the D-pad doesn't function how I think it should with this view. It's not terrible, but during my playthrough, I would just kind of walk in the wrong direction a lot. It's something I assume I can get used to, but it's just noticeable, and it just doesn't feel right. I finally do hobble my way to the door, though, and out into the hallway, and was not expecting that. In the hallway, we go into a first-person view, and honestly, it looks pretty good. Between this and Jumping Flash, I'm actually surprised at how well the PS1 could handle first-person views. Compared to Jumping Flash, there isn't as much going on, and it's a more closed-in space, so the lines are a lot cleaner, and it just looks good. Here again, though, the controllers still feel a little unnatural. It's not bad, but it's not smooth. You kind of move block by block and then rotate when you need to turn. It's perfectly serviceable, I just have to keep fighting against years of modern day muscle memory of expecting how a first person game should control. Eventually I find the right room to continue the story, and then we head out of the school so we can go to the hospital. After the cutscene, we're met with yet another visual style out on the street. We're given a top-down view here, and the whole city is generated in polygons. The controls are slightly wonky again, but I was getting used to that by now. If nothing else, this game is certainly ambitious. We have 3 different game styles so far. We have the outdoor Google Map character looking view, the interior hallway first-person view, and the isometric 2.5D view for when we're in individual rooms. It's almost as if these were 3 different games and then afterwards they just mashed them all together into one. I wander around aimlessly around town for a little while and play a little bit of Frogger. Then I make my way to the edge of town before Mark yells at me and reminds me that we're supposed to be going to the hospital. I have no idea where that is, so I start pressing buttons until I find the map. But even with the map, I still had a hard time navigating.
Do I go this way?
That's probably just a real-life me problem though. Thank God for GPS because I cannot read a map to save my life. Thankfully it's a small town, so I do make it there eventually. We have some time before our checkup, so we go to meet up with our friend Mary, who has been in the hospital for an entire year due to minor mental delusions. Minor mental delusions? What does that even mean?
Basically a textbook case of bitch be crazy disease.
And they can't be too minor if you've been stuck in the hospital for a full year. Poor girl. She seems happy to see us though, at least for a moment. But then she freaks out and the music gets really intense. We wait out in the hall as an earthquake hits, and when we try to go back in, the room's just gone. We head downstairs and see some zombie-looking things and find out that the butler is dead. Oh no, not the butler! We have to avenge him, and so we enter into battle mode, which shows all the characters' personas coming out and wiping out the zombies. Not sure what else to do, I head back into the halls to try to find my way out. Pretty quickly, I'm met with a random battle. So it's gonna be one of those games. Okay, so I don't hate random battle games, but I prefer games where you can see the enemies ahead of time so you can be more strategic on when and if you want to battle. During the second battle, I kept running into a lot of times where I couldn't do an attack I wanted, so I just kept pressing buttons until some kind of attack became an option. This game also has like a grid placement system too, where you can decide where each one of your characters is on the battlefield. That's cool because it gives you more control, but I also had no idea what to pick, so I just left it alone for the most part. I spent a lot of time lost here. I was just randomly walking around trying to find the exit and doing battles as they came up with no real clue of what I was doing. One of the battles started off with a demon trying to negotiate with me or something. I tried persuading her, but all that did was piss her off, and then this little blue ghost thing just dropped a friggin' vending machine on me.
My whole life is flashing in front of my eyes. Oh no, here comes the part where the soda machine falls on me. Aw, crap.
This game certainly has some variety, I'll give it that. We make it to the front lobby, and as we're gonna lift another vending machine off of a nurse, some more zombies attack, and then Ellen rushes in to join us. No idea where she's been this whole time. But she has the same powers we do, and she helps us win this last battle for my playthrough. A little bit more exposition drops, and then the next destination will be the school. I don't quite have time to make it there before my hour is up though. Part of that is because there's also random battles outside now too. So, replay or reject? This one was tough, but it's gonna have to be a reject for me. On one hand, I like how they combine the multiple overworld and exploration styles. I really like the music. And I had a few genuine chuckles at the absurdity and randomness that the game has to offer. There's a big cast of characters, which always helps with world building, and it seems like there's a lot of options on how you can play. On the other hand, though, there may be too many options for me to really enjoy. From the little bit I played, it seems like this would be one of those games where I'd be sitting there with a guide open the whole time and would still be constantly Googling stuff the whole time. I don't play a lot of RPGs, and the ones that I do aren't this in-depth. Seriously, I remember when I first played Fractured But Whole, and it took me a while to get used to the grid system. And that's like amateur hour compared to the fully customizable battlefield that this game has. So I'm going to leave this one to the pros, and I'll just stay in my lane with my Paper Mario, Earthbound, South Park tier of RPG games.